Hi again, Year 8. It is now lesson 2 of week 1, and we're doing more work on food, different meal times, and frequency expressions. So, as a starter, please, we saw all of this work in this vocab in lesson 1. So, please, as a starter, translate these sentences. You've got 3 to put into English, 3 to put into Spanish. Take care, we've got different parts of the verb here. So, this one here, for example, my dad has toast for breakfast. All you need to say here is think about how do you say he has something for breakfast. There's one verb that does that, and then you'll follow that with whatever food he has for that meal. Here it's talking about my brother having salad for dinner, so you need the verb to have for dinner, and then you follow that with salad. And you've got a frequency expression in there as well, or an adverb saying generally. Here again, you've got for a snack. That's just the verb to have for a snack, followed by the food. Okay, this should take you about 5 minutes, this starter. So pause the video, do the work, and when you're ready, resume. Okay, so assuming you've paused it, you've had about 5 minutes to do these sentences, and now we're going to correct them. So number 1, you had to put into English, normalmente como pescado. So normally I have fish for lunch. Número 2. I never have meat and vegetables for dinner. So that would be, we started out with nunca ceno carne y verduras. I never have meat and vegetables for dinner. Sometimes, I misspelled that, sometimes I have cereal for breakfast. A veces desayuno cereales. A veces desayuno cereales was what you started with. Becomes sometimes I have cereal for breakfast. Number 4, this was every day my dad has toast for breakfast. So todos los días is every day. Mi padre, my dad, has toast for breakfast is just desayuna tostadas. You need to make sure you've got the A on the end there. It's an AR verb. So he has breakfast is desayuna. Mi hermano cena ensalada generalmente. So generally my brother has salad for dinner. So mi hermano, my brother, cena has for dinner, ensalada generalmente. My brother generally has salad for dinner. Y finalmente tenemos siempre meriendo galletas. I always have biscuits for a snack. So to have for a snack is merendar. I have for a snack, stem changing verb, meriendo, always. And then afterwards we've got the what you always have for a snack. So I always have biscuits for a snack or as a snack. Okay, if you got all of those right, well done. If you didn't, please make sure you are correcting your work in red pen so you can see where you've gone wrong, and then you can make sure you learn the particular bits that you struggled with. Okay, so once you've done that, you can move on. And here we are reviewing the objectives that we saw yesterday, because these are the objectives for the week. What we are doing first of all is a listening now. So you're going to listen, and you can listen to this as many times as you like, because there's quite a lot of information in here. I'm just going to move this picture down a bit if I can get hold of it. Hold on, let's just go back. There's this picture. Right, so it says, what does Sergio eat, or when does he eat it? Write in English either the food, drink, or the time. So sometimes he's being asked, what do you have for breakfast, for example? The next one might be, what time do you eat lunch? So you're going to have different answers. Include the frequency expressions you hear and get as much detail as you can down, please. But you'll say you're writing it in English. So I'm going to have to minimize this so that I can play the don't quite know why I did that. Share again. Here we are. So I've had to minimize it so I can play the sound file. So I'll just get this set up and then I'll pause it.
Página 60. Ejercicio 3.
Okay, so listen carefully. You can listen to it again by going back and forwards through the video that you're watching now, but get as much detail as you can down, please. So here we go.
Escucha a Sergio y contesta a las preguntas. Escribe las letras del ejercicio 1 o una hora.
¿Qué desayunas, Sergio?
Normalmente desayuno cereales.
Okay, so the first one was ¿Qué desayunas? Normalmente desayuno cereales. So the answer to that is cereals, because you've said he's answering the question, what do you have for breakfast? Okay, so I'm going to carry on now. Listen carefully to the question and write down what the answer is.
¿Y qué bebes?
A ver, siempre bebo zumo de naranja.
¿A qué hora desayunas?
Normalmente a las 7:30.
¿Qué comes generalmente?
Pues depende. Patatas fritas o a veces como carne con verduras.
¿A qué hora comes, Sergio?
Como siempre a la 1.
¿Qué meriendas?
Nunca meriendo un bocadillo. Siempre meriendo galletas.
¿A qué hora cenas?
Ceno a las 8. De vez en cuando a las 8:30.
¿Qué cenas?
Tomo pescado con ensalada.
Okay, so you heard that listening once. You may need to listen to it again because it has got quite a lot of detail, and you are listening out for frequency expressions as well. You had things like I always or I never, sometimes. It had times and it had different types of food. So let's just go back so you can see this in full size. This is very slow, my computer. Okay. We're going to correct it in a moment, but you may need to listen to it several times. Once you've listened to it and you're happy, then you can move on to the corrections. Okay, so here are the corrections. Contesta las preguntas sobre Sergio. What did he eat and when did he eat it? So the first one was cereales. The next question was ¿Qué bebes? What do you drink? And he said bebo zumo de naranja. The next question was ¿A qué hora desayunas? What time do you have breakfast? And he said desayuno a las 7:30. I have breakfast at 7:30. Número 4. ¿Qué comes? What do you eat for lunch? And he said depende, depends. Patatas fritas o a veces carne con verduras. So it depends, chips or sometimes meat with vegetables. ¿A qué hora comes? Was the next one. Siempre como a la 1. I always have lunch at 1, he said. ¿Qué meriendas? Was the next question. What do you have as a snack? And he said nunca, nunca meriendo un bocadillo. Siempre meriendo galletas. So I never have a sandwich as a snack. I always have biscuits. Nunca meriendo un bocadillo. Siempre meriendo galletas. Number 7. ¿A qué hora cenas? What time do you have dinner? A las 8 o a veces, o de vez en cuando, he said actually, a las 8:30. A las 8, a las 8:30. So 8 or 8:30. And it was pescado con ensalada. So ceno pescado con ensalada. I have fish with salad for dinner. Okay, so there's quite a lot of information there. If you've got all of it and you've got the frequency expressions as well, then really well done. So give yourself a pat on the back if you did well on that, and correct anything that you didn't get and make a note. Did you not understand the times? Did you not get the frequency expressions? Did you not remember the vocab and therefore you couldn't identify the food or drink? So make a note of it in red pen and then you can set yourself a target later on. Okay, so we're just going to move on. There's a reading I want you to do now. And it says, lee el texto y contesta a las preguntas. So we've got a text here written by Maria. How old is she? What does she eat for breakfast? Where does she have lunch? At what time? What does she drink at lunch? And so on. So you need to stop the video now, read it through, and when you are ready, resume it and we will correct it. Make sure you note down any new vocab in here that you don't recognize. Okay. You should take you about 10 minutes, I should think, and then we'll then resume so we can correct it. Okay, so I'm assuming you've paused the video, you've done the work, and you are now waiting for the correction. So let's have a look. How old is Maria? It says here, tengo 14 años. She's 14 years old. What does she eat for breakfast? So the verb you're looking for here is desayuno. I have for breakfast, desayuno. So we've got, after we've got normalmente, desayuna, huevos o cereales. Now huevos, you should have written down as a new piece of vocabulary because I didn't highlight that yesterday for you, but it is in fact eggs or cereal. So huevos o cereales. Where does she have lunch and at what time? Again, there's a new word here that I hope you've written down, almuerzo. It's another word for como. It's another word for to have lunch. And in fact, because como is used for just I eat, this one here is specifically for lunch. Almuerzo en el colegio a las 12:30. So I have lunch, and el colegio is at school. Hopefully you got that one. And we want the time as well, a las 12:30, so 12:30. Oh, I clicked too quickly. So it's in school at 12:30. What does she drink at lunch? Bebo una limonada. So she drinks lemonade. That's number 4. Número 5. What does she usually have for a snack? Meriendo la fruta o las galletas. So I have fruit or biscuits for a snack. What time does she have dinner? So the verb we're looking for here, remember, is ceno. And there it is. Ceno a las 8 or las 8:30. So what time does she have dinner is either 8 or 8:30. And what does she have for dessert and when? So for dessert, the word you want is a new word that hopefully you've written down. It's el postre. El postre is pudding or dessert. And it says, los domingos comemos helado para el postre. So Sundays we eat ice cream for pudding or for dessert. So you should have got ice cream on Sundays. Me encanta el helado. I love ice cream. So I'm hoping you got some new words written down there that we hadn't already highlighted, and hopefully you got all the information you needed here. Check, correct in red pen, make a note of the stuff that you didn't know, and then work out how you're going to know it for next time, how you're going to learn it. Okay, so once you've done that, we're going to move on and just review the objectives for this week. We've moved through, obviously, understanding the vocabulary, the time indications. You've done some listening and some reading to practice that vocabulary. And also you wrote sentences at the beginning of the lesson today. So, and you also should have set some targets based on how you did in the listening and in the reading exercises. So that's the end of lesson 2. Muchas gracias, año 8. And we're going to, I will see you in lesson, sorry again, see you in lesson 3. Gracias.